Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new. It's inherited. A ring from a grandmother, a necklace full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jewelers reimagines family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Working one-on-one, Duke's designers honor the original story while creating something fresh and modern. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com, where old stories become new treasures.
Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody. Welcome on in. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Hopefully you had a better weekend than John Shire. Hopefully you had a better weekend than the other boozer.
Yeah.
The good boozer showed up. He had a good pass. That's terrible. Those poor kids, man. But at the expense of those kids' feelings and John Shire's feelings and Duke getting eliminated in historically meltdownable fashion like they did last year against Houston, and they did the same thing yesterday, at the expense of those people's feelings, we finally got a decent game in the NCAA tournament. The Elite Eight was total garbage till then.
We will remember that shot for a long,
Thank heavens.
long time.
It became an iconic moment, and this tournament needed iconic moments. You had the one finish with the Kentucky, bank in from half court to get them to overtime against Santa Clara.
It got them to overtime. It's not one of those.
Right. And it was in the round of what? No, it was round of 64.
It was the first game
right.
of this tournament.
And so it wasn't
7-10 matchup. Yeah.
So, you had that, but Duke, condolences. And UConn and Danny Hurley couldn't have happened to a more humble guy.
I think there's probably about 95% of listeners right now that agree and have tried them, and they're delicious, is Duke Tears.
Oh, yeah. No, see, that's the thing.
Everybody loves to drink
Scotty
Duke Tears.
Scotty had the retweet of the day yesterday.
So refreshing.
Where you had the Duke fans with the Duke hat as Homer Simpson melting into the hedge.
Yes.
And then reemerging with their Luka Doncic Lakers jersey and a Yankees cap.
Oh, my gosh.
Because that is to me, it was not just Duke. Notre Dame is in that camp, right?
Yeah.
Where you just had people who were, oh, yeah, I've always been a fan. Come on, get over yourself. So Duke falls in historic fashion, but overall, JJ, you had a 30-plus point loss in a regional final. You don't see that very often. In fact, the last time it happened was like in 1992. And
there's been more 30-point blowouts in this tournament than any tournament previous.
Right, and you had a 15-point game in one of the other ones, a 12-point game. You had double digits in every regional final. That's awful for the game. It was such bad basketball. When you're watching Michigan up 30, you were like, I immediately went, wow, this is worthless. This is a worthless game to watch. I'm not watching any more of this. All right, so
I think there's two teams that are better than everybody else.
And they're playing each other. And unfortunately, they're playing each other in the semifinals,
which is lending itself to a discussion that people will have about reseeding the Final Four, and we'll see how that all plays out. Illinois can blow up that narrative. I think Illinois is really, really good. They've got a lottery pick on that team in Weegar. They've got some great players. Peja Stojakovic's son is a sniper. Kid can shoot and play really well. And
shocker.
They've got size. Like, Illinois is big.
Okay. Well, let's start the show off. We got to get into
Not many teams can bully Houston, and they did.
I had this discussion with Napolis, and it sounds like a duh. It sounds like a yeah, duh, of course. Score more points than the other team, and you'll also score more points than the other team, and you'll also
win
those games.
Yeah.
But I want to get into this because I have a thought on what I learned about this tournament and the local teams that are here that are hoping to get deeper into the tournament or to get there at all. So let's kick off the program right here. We got the cut. Let's jump right in here.
It's time for the biggest. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Everything's right with the world. My 5-year-old daughter is leading our family pool, our family bracket.
As it should be.
Yeah. That's good. You know what? The part of me that I like about it is she's beating my oldest son who takes it so freaking seriously. That's the part that I love. Check the brackets. He's like, don't. And when you see a little 5-year-old Maeve up there, you go, oh, yeah, she's winning. She doesn't even know about it. Part of the thing is because we mom and dad chip in $50 to the winner of the pool. Just if you win the family bracket, you get $50. And that's more important to the 17-year-old than it is to the 5-year-old. But I'll tell you, it makes for fun watching these games as well. I just had this thought over the weekend, and we talked about it a little bit. Texas's size was a problem for BYU. Every one of these teams that's doing anything in the tournament is massive. JJ, they're huge.
Yeah, that's the trend.
If you're going to recruit phenomenal guys and you have the money to do it, make your entire team the biggest in the Big 12. Alex Jensen, make your team the absolute trees up there. Being big at all the positions is a problem for all the other opponents. Get size, and absolutely recruit it. Bring them from another team. If you don't have a 7-footer on the roster that's any good, you better get him. In fact, you might need to get 2. You might need to get you're going to have. And part of the reason that A.J. DeBonce is so amazing is he's huge for a shooting guard in college.
He's like 6'9",
6'9" wing,
2 guard,
and he's phenomenal. And that type of size is a mismatch for anybody. On top of the fact that he's generational athleticism, right?
Yeah.
So, freaking go out and just get big. All right. Don't get that 7'9" kid from Florida and at the expense of not having any good play from him. Don't do that. Give me the big guy who has that potential in those 4 or 5 stars next to him. Pay to get that guy in at your school. Utah will immediately turn everything around if they get bigger than everybody else. They'll immediately start to get good. You want to get those big names. BYU, I think we all know, they were so small on the inside. How many times did they have to get out-rebounded on the offensive side?
It was a problem all season long.
Yes. So you watch all these teams that are going on still, and they're massive. Get big, basketball teams. Come on. Anyway, again, that's the easiest observation of the day, but it just made it was made so much more clear this weekend.
No, we see trends happen all the time. You see it in the NBA where everything went to what the Warriors were doing with positionless basketball and shooting the leather off the ball from the three-point line, and you're starting to see some things. It's going to be interesting to see how things come back with the NBA right now with, Jokic and the way that the Nuggets play the game, and then the Thunder now seem like the dominant team. How are the Spurs going to play the game of basketball because they've got Wembanyama and the gravity that he has where he can shoot from 3 at a high clip and he pulls the bigs out. Like there's different things and trends that'll figure themselves out. It feels like I'm not sure exactly where that is going with the NBA, but definitely in college basketball, size is making a difference. And you look at that. You mentioned the size on the court. UConn. Now, did UConn have the most talent? I don't think they did.
No. Nope.
They had the better team, but they also had size. Look at some of the guys on the team. Terrace Reed Jr., 6'11". You keep going through some of the guys. Braylon Mullins, who made that shot, is 6'6". I mean, that's a guard. That's good size in the backcourt, right?
Yeah.
So you start looking around at some of those guys in that lineup, and they were big guys. Alex Caraban's a big guy. Alex Caraban is 6'8" on the wing. Silas Demery at guard is 6'4". That's a 6'4" guard. Solo Ball, 6'4" guard, 200. These are dudes like the Stephon Castle mold, right?
Yeah.
They go out and they get dudes. They don't have a bunch of small guys out there. So you got to be big and you got to be strong. You got to own the paint. You got to protect the rim. And if you have a little bit of shooting, then even better. But that's kind of the trend with college basketball right now. And all the teams that are still left, I mean, we talked about it with Arizona. When BYU played Arizona, when Utah State played Arizona, what was the difference? Size and depth. Size and depth. Size does matter.
Yep.
You need shooters, but size still matters.
How big's Carson?
the highest level.
How big's Carson Templin?
6'9".
I remember you were telling me
He didn't look 6'9" against Arizona, did he?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, he played his butt off, right? You
yeah,
can
he
do
did,
that.
of course.
Kebakeda on certain occasions for BYU at 6'9"-ish, also 6'9.5" himself. But if that's your 5, it's hard to hang your hat on that, especially when he wasn't having the most phenomenal year. There's injuries on top of it. You just have to get big.
UConn had a 7-footer come off the bench.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Eric Reeby came off the bench. So you need size. Look at Arizona's lineup. My goodness, they're just big.
Massive. And so that's what you learned. That's what I learned from it. You have to figure out.
Shocker in basketball, but there was a little bit of a trend where you went more athletic, but it's really coming back to size really dictating your success.
What do we get so excited for with this Utah Jazz lineup next year?
Size.
I mean, how freaking giant it's going to be.
No, it's 6'4" and above.
Yeah, and
Keontae 6'4", Ace Bailey 6'9",
6'9", yeah.
If let's say they win the lottery and they get AJ DeBonsa 6'8", 6'9", and then you're not even at your
haven't even talked about
front
Lowry
line yet, where you've got Lowry at 7 feet, you've got Jaren Jackson Jr. at 7 feet, and Walker Kessler is over 7 feet. You can roll out a lineup with 3 7-footers in your front court, along with your big guards. And your athletic wings.
And it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it is. But you look around the league. What else is it? What does everyone else have? Look at the Celtics.
Yep.
Look at the Thunder.
Who's the best player, arguably, in the whole league?
Look at the Nuggets.
A freak of a.
Look at the Timberwolves.
The height, the advantage that these guys have. But you got to get that size. Not like these coaches don't want it. I'm just saying, like, when you see the size differential, that should be the thing that gets you to that number on your roster. You go, we're spending $20 million on this roster. $6 million of it better be on height, on big dudes, on some 4s and 5s that are absolute dogs in the middle, on top of the fact that they're bigger than everybody else in front of them. So, just a thought, just what I had in mind. All right, so Arizona gets to its first Final Four in 25 years. They ended up.
That's crazy, right?
I know. They grind, because we grew up in the Lute Olson days where it felt like they were there every year.
I know.
And this Arizona team feels, the opposite of Duke. Duke has had struggles along the entire tournament.
They almost lost in the first round.
Arizona got a tough game out of Utah State in the second half. Great. Purdue is keeping it tight. They're up. Purdue is up at the half. I'm like, good. Purdue. Somebody showed up to play Arizona. Let's see a game. And Arizona just grinds down on you.
48-26 in the second half.
They just grinded. They absolutely
beat Purdue by 22 points in the second half.
Yeah, and they end up winning by 15.
Right.
Because they absolutely their style of play is so hard to keep up with, and it's relentless. And they're pressing always. And Illinois gets a win. That's a shock on a lot of people's brackets. It's just not a team you put there. You just don't think of Illinois of being that power, but they've been playing phenomenally the last couple years, and now first Final Four in 21 years.
Who was their starting point guard on that team?
D. Will.
That's right.
Out of the Colony High School.
That's right.
Dallas, Texas. So they beat Iowa by double digits, and that Iowa team, congrats, great year, but that's not a Final Four team.
Hey, to get to the Elite Eight though. That's
phenomenal. Great.
That's awesome.
Tennessee gets blown out by 33 against Michigan, and it could have been 50.
Tennessee benefited from the injury to Joshua Jefferson in Iowa State.
Barnes, great coach.
Yep.
I like Tennessee from they as a 6 seed going to the Elite Eight, but man, it is obvious that the teams that are there right now, Arizona is an absolute juggernaut. Illinois is really dang good. We'll see how long that'll last. Michigan might be better than Arizona, and they're playing each other in that semifinal.
It's possible. Landenborg is special.
Axel Landenborg, yeah. Sounds like one of the new Utah Mammoth.
Yeah, he does sound like a hockey player. From Sweden. So there is guess who's not at the Final Four?
Florida. Who else?
The SEC.
Oh, not one this year, huh?
Not one. Not one
shame.
SEC
it's a
team.
shame.
I would really feel bad for them.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah, so they end up.
I thought it just meant more.
I'm trying to think. Arizona's a 1 seed. Michigan's a 1 seed.
Correct.
Illinois is a 3.
Yes.
And
UConn the 2.
UConn is a 2 seed. So you're still pretty chalky, but you had that 3 and 2 on the other side of the bracket that people did not see going through. And look, Duke had it. Duke had it in their back pocket. Do you look at the way that John Shire coached that last moment, and those kids were undercoached in that moment? Obviously, the meltdown and the turnover that happened when the ball gets thrown up from the logo after UConn should have just been dead and buried. Do you look at John Shire and go, you blew that, and you did it last year too? This guy doesn't have what it takes to get to the next level?
He's been at that level.
I know.
So it's hard to say he doesn't have what it takes, and he has phenomenal talent. That helps too. I think it is fair to criticize a bit because this is not once. This is 3 straight years that Duke's had this problem. Remember 2 years ago, they were playing NC State for a spot in the Final Four. NC State,
Yeah.
a team they kicked their trash in the ACC. That NC State team made the Final Four because they upset Duke. Duke couldn't hold on to that lead against NC State. Last year, what happened last year? You're up by how much against Houston?
It was, well, I think they were up by as many as 13 in the second half. But
they were up like 6 with a minute left, weren't they?
So Houston went on a 9-0 run in 71 seconds.
You had Cooper Flagg and the
Con
Rookie
Knippel.
of the Year, Con Knippel, and you couldn't score against Houston?
9-0. 9-0.
Okay,
Yep.
so the talent is there. The players are there. You're in the moment. You've built the lead. There are certain things strategically that have to happen in those moments, and they weren't executed properly.
Pretty wild.
The way that Duke handled the press at the end of that game yesterday, the way that they allowed UConn to get back into it.
Well,
look, it's fair.
It was a low IQ basketball play because
There was 10 seconds
you
left
just
on the
had
clock.
to hold on to the ball.
You didn't have to get it past midcourt.
You also didn't have to just get it out of your hands immediately because you felt like you didn't want them to foul you. You allow them to foul you.
Yes.
Like, you're already up
You
2.
didn't need to panic.
So
And the message in the timeout should have been, look, was there 10.6 on the clock? Either way, it was 10 seconds left on the clock. You do not have to get it past the midcourt line. Take your time, take a breath, let them foul you. Hold on to the ball for dear life. Go to the free throw line, let's win this game. And for that to happen and Duke to act like the ball was a hot potato, that's just pure panic.
those poor guys.
And they had shots of John Shire on the sideline, and I'm sorry, I saw a look of deer in the headlights a little bit. So yeah, I think there's criticism due for the common denominator in the last 3 times that Duke has been in these situations. John Shire has to get better on in-game situations. Great coach, great recruiter. He's carrying on the legacy. He's doing the very difficult task of being the guy that follows the guy. And Duke has not fallen off at all. Look, it's hard to win at this level. It's hard to go to a Final Four. It's hard to go to a national championship game. But when you have it in your grasp and you lose it because of bad situational basketball, then you stare right at the head coach. That's on the coaching staff to have their players understanding and ready for what the moment is. And Duke wasn't yesterday, and they paid a price. And UConn was mentally tough. As much as I can't stand their head coach, they were ready. And that kid was onions, man. That kid was onions. That shot was from the logo. That kid is a freshman. He is Mr. Basketball in Indiana. I get he's good, but he is a freshman in the Elite 8. And the kid had onions. He was ready to go. Nothing but net. That was one of the great shots we've ever seen in NCAA tournament history with everything on the line.
I did love the Bill Rafferty onions.
It was good.
Reference right there because I love that they show the camera and they flip it around and they see Rafferty. You've got
Grant Hill.
Ian Eagle is on the call, and then Grant Hill in the middle. Obviously, Grant Hill.
He has some experience in this moment, and he's a Duke guy.
Okay. Now, to his credit, he was just like everybody else who was just a basketball watcher at that moment and was just like, that is phenomenal.
Yep.
And they all have their hands out on each other, and they're like, but Rafferty is mouth agape. Like, I mean, that guy has seen everything.
Yeah, and
until yesterday,
and
then he
caused
actually
that
did.
Reaction from,
and he's just like, impossible, right? And to see his reaction was just, that was awesome. So
that's why we watch. We hope for these moments.
Well, my heavens!
And I was terrified. I mean, I told you last week. We got on the show and I was like, after the round of 32, I'm like, guys, March Madness is dying.
I will say
March Madness is dying because there's no mid majors that can compete with the high majors because the gap is so big because of NIL. And the teams that are good are so much better than everybody else. And we're having blowout after blowout after blowout. And everything that was special about the NCAA tournament feels like it's gone. And for yesterday, for that to happen, brought it back a bit. I think there's still some of that because we've never had more blowouts. We've never had more chalk. But, man, that shot was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think you can make – what's interesting is this article that we saw today about – the title of it is – Thrilling NCAA tournament has proved college basketball isn't broken.
No.
In some ways, it's only getting better. And I thought, what? But you can't go off of like two singular moments because the rest of the games have been kind of dogs. Now, here's the other kind of weird dichotomy of all this. Rick Pitino, who has seen it all, said about this tournament and about basketball right now in the NCAA is, quote, the best I've ever witnessed.
I don't disagree.
That's what I'm saying. You have
the premise that the quality of play is better. Why? Because you're paying pros.
Yes.
You're literally paying players to play. They are professional basketball players.
Kids are better than they've ever been.
There are kids from Europe, and there's actually, it's not many, but there's kids that played in the G League that are in college basketball right now. So, yes, the talent is higher. Players that would otherwise be in the NBA or in Europe right now stuck around because of NIL money. Yes, Coach Pitino is correct. The quality of play is better. But the gap between the haves and the have-nots has never been bigger.
I mean, Arizona and Michigan on the other side of the bracket won their games by a total of 46 points. That's not thrilling basketball. And then the other game on the other side was a 12-point loss. And so they were all double digits except for that one. We've never had more double-digit losses. We've never had more 20-point blowouts. We've never had more 30-point blowouts. So you can't say it's quote unquote thrilling because 20 and 30-point losses are not.
That's not what we're tuning in for.
They're not fun. They're not fun to watch. You immediately. And by the way, it's so hard to listen to these guys calling the game, and there's 2 minutes and 41 seconds because Michigan had a 30-point lead for the last. It felt like 2 hours. Right? They had a 30-point lead with about 13 minutes left, and it stayed that way the entire rest of the game. So it was 13 minutes of these announcers kind of going through quietly, doing the baseball announcer thing where they're like, "Oh, look how much fun he's having in the crowd." Like it was bad TV, and it wasn't entertaining. It certainly wasn't thrilling. That moment with Mullins was absolutely thrilling, great, but I think we've had few of them. And you can have the best basketball we've ever witnessed and also still not be very competitive. Okay? Guess what? The women's game, they're better than they've ever been. Yep. And they're blowing each other out worse than we've ever seen even. And that doesn't mean it's thrilling. It's not thrilling if you're blowing everybody out. But the talent is its highest. I get it. The NBA is getting the most talent that they are ever getting as a full class. Of draft classes every year just keep getting deeper and deeper.
Two straight, just incredible draft classes.
Yes, and I would imagine like we're better at finding those good players. We're better at making those guys go from 4 to 5 stars. These guys are ready. These guys are NBA ready their first year of college in some cases. AJ DeBonsa, right?
Absolutely.
So there's arguments there, but don't call it a thrilling NCAA tournament. It was one moment yesterday, and the rest of these games have been kind of disappointing. Also, I'm losing my bracket, so that's probably another way that I don't feel very good about things. Losing to my 5-year-old. No problem. Okay, we're going to take a break. Hey, we have a jam-packed show here for you. Utah State has a new basketball coach. We'll talk about that next coming up. And also at the 4 o'clock, top of the 4 o'clock hour, the newest Utah Mammoth, MacKenzie Weegar, the defenseman, going to join us on the program, top of 4 o'clock. Boy, they needed a win in L.A., and did they get it? Some guys showing up in big ways. You better be ready. This team is going to lose games by a lot, or they're going to win games by a lot. That's at least been the case the last couple of weeks. And they got the big win. Thank heavens that Nashville's starting to lose some games in a row. That's really helped the cause as well. But MacKenzie Weegar, we're going to ask him about his short time he's been with the Mammoth and what the vibe on the team is like. And, you know, when you make that decision to waive your no-trade clause and say, I'm coming to Utah, we want to get down to the bottom of what MacKenzie Weegar is thinking about this team and about this roster and getting them to the playoffs. We'll come back. More to go. 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
This is Mike Boilo of Lexicon Valley.
And I'm Bob Garfield. Are you one of those people who sometimes uses words?
Do you communicate or acquire information with, language?
Hey, us too. So join us on Lexicon Valley to chew over the history, culture, and many mysteries of English, plus some wisecracks.
Find us on one of those apps where people listen to podcasts.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems, and fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old? A healthy smile isn't just about teeth, it's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone. We appreciate you joining us on the program. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we're going to hear from MacKenzie Weegar, one of those dudes on the blue line for this Utah Mammoth team that is pushing toward that wild card one playoff spot. They got a huge win yesterday in LA. Was it yesterday?
Saturday.
It was Saturday. Huge win on Saturday, 6-2, and you got a couple goals from Kirry. Couple goals from Kirry. You got a couple goals from
Cools.
But that team just looked dialed up. You know what it was? They just pushed the entire game. The energy was
There was not a disaster in the second period. That was progress.
yes. And when they went from 3-1 to that 4-1 goal that Kerfoot put in make it 4-1,
goal.
and then it really busted it wide open. Yeah. They needed that second period, and they got the big win. And plus, it's against LA. There's a team who's trying to run them down in that wild card race.
If they lose that game, the Kings are within 2 points.
And on top of it, you have the Predators, who are the Preds have lost 3 in a row.
It's
a shame.
We're like, oh, here come the Preds. I said, look at their schedule.
But it also it's tough because if the Mammoth would have won one of those games over here at home,
I know.
Then it would have been.
They've had plenty of missed opportunities.
Yeah.
There's still another level for this team to get at. They talk about maturity all the time. We can even ask MacKenzie Weegar about it. There's another level for this team to get to when it comes to consistency that they're not quite there yet. But, man, when they're good, they are elite. Really good.
So that was big. They're at 82 points now in the standings, and that puts them clear 5 points of the Preds who are behind them in that wild card 2 spot. All right, JJ, we've got some news out of Logan. Utah State getting their agreement all tied up for Ben Jacobson is going to be the new head coach of Utah State. Were you surprised that it was a guy that, in my mind, I feel like we haven't heard about Ben Jacobson in a few years here?
Well, because most would say, well, Northern Iowa and Utah State are kind of at the same mid-major level. I don't think that's the case anymore, but based on history, you would look at it that way.
Well, he put them in that. He put Northern Iowa on that map.
100%.
Sure. They got
we all remember
tournaments in a row.
Farouk Manesh, we remember their Sweet 16 appearance. They've been to the tournament 5 times. You've seen Ben Jacobson before because he's been around for 25 years. He was at that school forever at Northern Iowa. He has 397 career wins. He won 9 regular season or tournament championships, 5 NCAA tournament appearances, and several near misses when it came to the tournament. 1 Sweet 16 appearance. He's coached some good players there. What he has done at Northern Iowa is a miracle when you learn more about Northern Iowa. That place sucks. It does.
Oh, my goodness.
You learn about their facilities. Apparently, they practice in an old rec gym.
The Hoosiers guys come in and measure the rims every morning.
Like there's probably dead spots on the floor. Like these, you're trying to play big time basketball, and I'm sure he was very loyal to that place. He's from North Dakota, so that area of the country is home to him, and it's crazy that this was the job that pulled him away from that. And he's going to have a press conference in the morning, and I will be very curious to learn why Utah State. This man could have left and gone to a lot of places, and he never did, and suddenly this is the job he wants. Why? Why Utah State? Now, from the other perspective, Utah State, this is a great hire. Tim Lacombe, he's posted it on social media today. Home run hire. Everybody I've seen and talked to that knows ball and is tied to the college game, home run hire. Great hire by Utah State.
If he's able to do that at Northern Iowa.
Ben Jacobson is well-respected all over the country.
I can't remember who said this quote, but they said pretty distinctively that Northern Iowa sucks. I can't recall who that person was. But
don't quote me on that.
If you can get that guy away from Northern Iowa, and let me tell you about a place that does not suck.
Right.
I mean, people get to Cache Valley and they go, what on earth were they hiding up here?
It's beautiful. The school's awesome. The students support it.
The basketball program is at a status that you wish you could get to at a non-Power 4 school and
have tradition.
Power 5 school.
The place is packed. You've proven now that you can produce pro basketball players there. You've got 2 in the NBA right now, and there's guys internationally that are balling as well. Like, this program is rolling, and all you got to come in and do is keep it rolling. That's a pretty good opportunity. And for Ben Jacobson, it's really that simple. Come in here, keep it rolling, and make it even better if you want to.
I know this has been a springboard job market for obviously the last 4 coaches who've come through.
And it's worked out for Utah State. But how many more times is this going to work out?
And I think that's the idea, right? Is that making that hire for a guy who was already at a program for 20 years there, that he would want to do 15 years here. Is that what the vibe is? Is that they're like,
he's
look,
55 years old.
We want that. We want that
he's
experience.
In his coaching prime.
We want the guy with the background that gets smaller teams to the tournament, which is what you want.
We've had a great job attracting these low mid-major coaches from Youngstown State and Montana State and UMBC and South Dakota. Those are the places where Utah State got their coaches. You're going now to a higher level to get your coach, and with the resources to potentially keep him there. And maybe or maybe not. If you know what? If Ben Jacobson ends up leaving Utah State in 2 or 3 years, it's because the Aggies took it to another level. And
you can't avoid it. Yeah,
but you're not bringing in somebody that's like, I hope so, maybe. I mean, Danny Sprinkle won at Montana State, but that wasn't I hope so, maybe hire, but it was a home run. Every coach they've hired in the last 4 times was I don't know, maybe. Like Craig Smith had never been to the NCAA tournament in South Dakota.
Yep.
It's not like they went on some kind of they won a first-round game. Ben Jacobson's been to a Sweet 16. This is a proven, established coach with a long history and a deep resume, 397 career wins. This is not somebody we think or might be good. This is a well-respected coach around the country. He's going to come here and keep it rolling. And I think you're exactly right. You nailed it. That this is Utah State saying, and Cam Walker, who was on Scotty G and Friends today, you can go back and listen to him talking. This is a job. This is a hire where the athletic director is saying we can go out and get a guy at a higher level, and we can get him to stay. And we have these financial resources. This windfall from Calhoun's departure. Guess what Ben Jacobson's buyout number is?
South of $1 million?
Very south.
$15 and a trip to Maverick.
Less.
0? Was it 0?
0. No dollars.
I love
$0.
Did they put that in the contract? And your buyout is? Oh, 0. Sorry, it could have been
costing Utah State
0.
Nothing.
So in that instance, you're the brand new athletic director for Utah State. You've won the weekend.
Yes, you have.
Good for you.
And you probably won the press conference because Ben Jacobs is going to come here tomorrow morning, and he's going to wow all of you. Aggie Nation, prepare. This dude is the real deal, and you're going to love him. And he wins and you didn't have to spend a cent on a buyout, and you get all that buyout money from Calhoun going to Cincinnati that you get to put into resources to keep this roster together or to enhance it as well. Maybe Carson Templin doesn't want to leave anymore. Maybe the mayor stays in Cache Valley.
See, now
maybe
look,
they can go out and get some complimentary pieces.
I do love okay.
Or go out and get the dude.
Here's what I'm always saying about like why that job in particular is just phenomenal. But you also look at other parts of the country. Look at what LSU just did. Okay, they snuck in a terrible character person.
Yeah.
They've showed in the past they don't care. They'll hire Brian Kelly. They'll hire Will Wade.
Their football coach and their basketball coach have issues.
And on top of it,
ethical questions at the least.
So everybody became internet sleuths over the weekend. And Will Wade apparently had already buttoned up a house like at the beginning of February. He had already had his listed in North Carolina well before that and blah, blah, blah. Now, and then he throws the quote out of, well, I stopped worrying about my perception years ago. You think? Like,
he's not a good guy.
He's like, I have decided that I don't care what people think. I will cheat, and it doesn't matter to me. He got kicked out of that school for cheating, and then he came back. And his whole press conference was, well, we're going to make history one way or the other. We're either going to go and win a national championship or I'm going to be fired for the second time from the school. No, it's never happened. Let's make history together.
That's weird.
Anyway, I'm saying,
imagine that.
Imagine that. And then just look up at Logan and go, thank heavens that they have hiring practice standards up there. And they haven't missed in so long. And it's been different athletic directors. It's been associate athletic directors. It's
school
been
presidents.
School presidents. So many of those things coming along the way. I don't think that they just got lucky. I just think that place is built for people to be able to come in and play their best basketball. And so many kids do. And I bet you're going to see the same thing with Jacobson as well. So, pretty cool.
They just went out and got a guy that shows you that they are a top 30 job in the country. Calhoun was right. Ben Jacobson wouldn't have left the place he's been at 25 years for nothing. Utah State is a top 30 job in the country now. And let's hope that means that somebody's going to stay there for a while.
20 years and almost 400 wins. So you're at a clip of almost 20 wins every year for the last 20 years.
Yeah, consistently winning.
Not bad. Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We have more. When we return, we've got our Weekend Warriors, people who won the weekend here for us. We've got some sound for you as well. Stay right here with us. 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.
Every day, the world gets a little weirder and a lot more awesome. Cool Stuff Daily takes a look at everything from mining in space to the latest in the fight against cancer to how AI is, basically changing everything. It's all the cool stuff you didn't know you needed to know. Join us for Cool Stuff Daily as we take a quick look at science, tech, and the wait, what stories that make you sound way smarter at dinner. Subscribe to Cool Stuff Daily now because the future's happening fast and it's way too fun to miss.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems, and fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old? A healthy smile isn't just about teeth, it's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
You deserve to feel better today. At Harper Clinic, patients report sleeping deeper, thinking clearer, and feeling stronger. Because mental health care is more than emotions. It's about your whole body. Work to lower your blood pressure, even boost your immune system. Get help to manage stress, focus, and reconnect. If you're facing anxiety, depression, or just feeling stuck, call Harper Clinic, 801-306-2345, 801-306-2345 to start feeling better.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Stevie Nicks, of course, proud Utah zone. Hey, she was at Judge High School for 1.5 seconds, right?
By accident.
I think, yeah. Or is that a myth? I always heard it.
No, it's true.
Because, you have your friend who goes, "Oh no, yeah, my cousin, they eat dinner at Roseanne's house all the time in Sugar House."
She attended Wasatch Junior High and briefly Judge.
Hey, look at that! Oh, Judge
during the early 60s.
Yeah. But
her family lived here from 1961
was it Roseanne who was fake?
No, Roseanne
also was a Utah.
Yeah.
Here for 4.5 seconds. We'll take it. I don't know. These days, I don't know if you want Roseanne. You take Stevie Nicks all day, but no, Roseanne. I'll take.
She went to East High School.
That's what it was. Yeah. Boy, everybody right in that area, though. East, Judge.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, it's a city. People live in a city.
Well, I mean, they live right next to each other, is what I'm saying. Right.
Did you know that Roseanne was hit by a car at age 16?
In Salt Lake?
Yes.
Those darn people around Liberty Park.
She had a traumatic brain injury. She spent 8 months in the hospital.
I've learned some things today
there you go.
Didn't necessarily think I would learn. Okay? So you're welcome, everybody. Hey, we got lots going on in the program. MacKenzie Weegar is going to join us top of the hour, and defenseman for the Utah Mammoth. But it is our Weekend Warriors, people who won the weekend here for us, and we've got a whole chunk of sound to get through with a bunch of these because our producer, Alex Napolis, does a phenomenal job. Alex Kerfoot. Kerfy. Great name, by the way. Wouldn't you agree, Napolis? Right? Couple few Alexes just having having a great weekend. So Kerfy has himself a night, gets 2 goals, including that decisive 4th goal of the game was huge. Here's what it sounded like.
Kerfoot drags, holding up traffic. Kerfoot shoots and they score! Kerfoot's got a pair tonight, and it's 4-1. Right after the PK, Alexander Kerfoot takes it all the way down and finds his 2nd goal of the night.
That's killer. They have been giving up a lot of power play goals. They kill the penalty, they go right down and score, and that was a tremendous goal by Kerfoot. Lots of walk-offs this weekend. Gosh darn it. In baseball. That's what we like about it. How about this one? This was for the Marlins. This was Owen Cassidy with his own walk-off.
The Marlins just seem to have a little bit more life. 1-0 pitch. Casey launches high in the air at the right. It is gone! You can't make this up! And for the first time since 2009, the Marlins start a year 3-0. A walk-off 2-run shot for Owen Casey.
Owen Casey gets the walk-off. Ernie Clement with the Blue Jays had one of his own.
Full count now. And Medina unloads. And Clement drives it. Left center. Down for a base hit. Lucas gets the wave. He's going to come in to score. And tonight, it's Ernie Clement who's the hero. Back-to-back walk-off wins for the Blue Jays, who take it 8-7 in Game 2 of the year.
You can't steal the barge horn from the hockey club.
I think they did.
They should go to the Maple Leafs and be like, you have an extra one of those? When we hit a home run, we want it to sound like a hockey game because that's where the real fans are. Then another one from J.J. Weatherholt for the Cardinals.
The pitch to Weatherholt is grounded to the right side, base hit! The Cardinals tie it! Here comes Jordan Walker! The play at the plate! Not in time! The Cardinals walk it off with rookie J.J. Weatherholt coming through in the bottom of the 10th inning. The Cardinals win it by a score of 6-5. How about that ending?
It was good. We love the walk-offs. Baseball needs that kind of excitement. But, of course, the biggest play of the weekend, it sounded like this, and it apparently made the entire tournament very, very exciting.
72-70, Duke by 2. Sarr to key the inbound now. Full court pressure from UConn. Sarr gets it into Cam Boozer. Boozer back to Sarr. Now ahead to Caden Boozer, and UConn got a steal. Caravan for Mullins. Long 3. He got it! Oh, he got it! He hit it! He hit the long three-pointer from the logo with 0.3 of a second left to go. I don't believe it. UConn has taken the lead.
The thing that makes basketball calls on the radio like that or just over the air, I'm assuming that was our Westwood One coverage right there. And pay the man extra who puts a mic right next to the net. Listen to the beginning again. I listen for the net because it's phenomenal and it adds so much to it.
72-70, Duke by 2. Sarr to key the inbound now. Full court pressure from UConn. Sarr gets it into Cam Boozer. Boozer back to Sarr. Now ahead to Caden Boozer, and UConn got a steal. Caravan for Mullins. Long three. He got it. Oh,
there's just that little subtle net. That nylon. That flick of the nylon just does the whole thing.
That's cool.
And you hear it just go, and luckily you didn't have Danny Hurley's mom mic'd up in the stands. You almost had to blur out her mouth.
It's the mouth of a sailor up there.
I don't wonder anymore where he gets it. That lady gets in the face of referees.
Oh, boy.
So it was an awesome weekend across the board there for the walk-offs. And when they mean a lot more, that's a regional final. You get the trophy. You're on to the Final Four. The Final Four is just a crazy – I saw Izzo over the weekend at his press conference, and he just goes, and we fell short of our goal. I want to play on that Sunday. I think I want to get back. I'll play on another Sunday again. And I thought, yeah, these coaches, they have it in them. It's just like, get me to that final, regional final. Get me that weekend where I can play on that Saturday night or that Sunday for a chance to go to the, in Indianapolis in this case. Phenomenal stuff. All right, we'll take a break. Win big this Wednesday on the KSL Sports Zone. Guess what you got? You're going to get tickets to see Weezer coming up at Maverick Center coming up September 15th. It's Weezer. You might see JJ and I there. My heavens. You might see our producer Alex Napolis there. Go. For heaven's sake. LiveNation.com is where you can get tickets right now, or you can listen all day on Wednesday, and we'll be giving those tickets away as well. All right, we'll come back. More to go. MacKenzie Weegar joins us next. 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. It's JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, your radio home of the Utah Mammoth. Joining us on the program right now, he is one of your Utah Mammoth. In fact, he's the newest member of the Mammoth. MacKenzie Weegar, defenseman, coming in, of course, at the trade deadline, just before the trade deadline. And we heard so many good things about how big of a deal this was going to be for this blue line and for this team in the locker room. MacKenzie Weegar right now joins us on the program. Thanks for being with us, Weegs.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Doing great.
We love it, man. Boy, that 6-2 win in L.A. Let's just go right to the I want to ask you all sorts of things, but just like the fresh on the top of the mind 6-2 win down in L.A., it was clutch. It felt like a little bit of, we don't even know what playoff hockey here in Utah feels like, but that's as close as we've gotten as a franchise here. To be able to get that win down there at their place and so decisively, how did that go?
Yeah, it was great. Huge win. I think there was, lots of chat after the game that we lost at home. We needed a big bounce back win. I've heard, all season long how, this team does a great job at, bouncing back. And I think that game was, great for our mindset. I think that playoff hockey mentality, you're going into LA, another team fighting for that, wild card spot. And we jumped right all over the, right in the first period. And, we knew it was going to be a big game for our group. And we definitely, made it well aware that that's our spot, that's our wild card, and it's going to be tough to take it from us. So that's the mindset we need going forward here.
I listened to post-game interviews after the Edmonton loss and after the Capitals loss, and you guys said a lot of the right things. And on Saturday, you went out and did them. How difficult is that to know what needs to change and then go out and do it? And what were those things that needed to change?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough, right? Because, I think the leadership group here is great, and we do say the right things, and, there's a lot of accountability in that locker room, and but we all got to go out there and show that we're going to learn from the mistakes. And I thought the things that needed to change were a little bit of we've been getting leads, and it's just holding on to the lead, how to defend that lead. And I think for most of the time, it's just not sitting back, just keep going, keep attacking. And in LA, I think we did that. They kind of had a little bit of a push in the second period, and we handled it well. And power play and the PK are showing up at the right time, which is huge for our group. But it's mostly just how did we defend, that lead and kind of finish teams and put them away. So I think that's been kind of our focus right now, and it was a big stepping stone for our group in LA.
Obviously getting traded away from a team mid-season, to do that for you, to walk away from Calgary was to sign that or to waive that no trade clause. And, I think that we benefit here, obviously, from you doing that. What went in? What was the full deal? Kind of went into the decision-making of, I feel like we could do something here. Because I think a lot of people just go, well, it was just bad. He just want to get out of there. It's not about that, too. At some point in your career, you want to find the right place where you want to land. And do you feel like you did that with Utah?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's any question about that. But like you said, it's not an easy decision. I've talked about it, to many people. We really enjoyed Calgary, and we obviously had really great relationships there. So it wasn't an easy decision, but there's a lot of things that go in it. The team here, the city, ownership, organization, lots of that. And we went over everything, and it's got it all. We got it all here. And I think the biggest thing for me was, the timeline to win. I think it's the same timeline, that I got on my contract here, 5 more years. And the core group of guys here, young kids who are unbelievable players that are signed here for long-term. Leadership group's great. The city's absolutely awesome. It's stunning. Ownership is, like everybody knows, it's they treat you, with full class. It's A1 here. So when I did decide to do to waive my no move, we came up with all those reasons, and it was just a no-brainer. Obviously, Calgary was going in a little bit of a different direction, and I think both sides handled it really well. And I think for myself and my career, my family, my friends, we all agree that this is a great place to do that, and I really want to win, and I believe Utah can win in that timeline.
Yeah, and as you look at this roster and this team, I'm sure you saw an opportunity as well on the ice. What role do you want to play on this team, and what? Obviously, we know what position you play, but what do you want to bring to this team that maybe was missing before they acquired you at the deadline?
Yeah, I think it's just that stability on the back end, can defend and join the rush. That leadership, I can definitely help out the younger kids, but for me, it's just providing that stability on the back end, adding depth to the back end, playing hard, physical hockey, blocking shots, kind of doing the little things, the details that, go a long way, I think, in playoffs and this time of year, obviously it's been an absolute treat playing with Sergei. So if I can just, get him the puck, make him feel great, let him get up in the rush and do his thing. Just make guys, feel good out there, comfortable. And like I said, I just play that kind of hard-nosed hockey. And, that's a fun part of the game for me is just, getting in people's faces and, kind of roughing it up a little bit out there. But while, getting the puck to these young kids who can, who have so much talent and so much skill, they want the puck. And, I feel like I can help, get them the puck while playing a physical game. And I think for Utah, I think that's kind of what you need right now this time of year. So I like to think that I can kind of, do everything pretty good. So a little bit of that Swiss Army knife back there.
We get to have a weekly conversation with Bear Torney, the head coach, and you guys have some sort of a background, I think, of of the national team in Canada and being able to cross paths. What have you thought of Bear prior to coming here? And when you saw he was the coach and you say, you know what, I know this guy, I know what he can do. Is that type of like knowing that, does that go into some of the decision making, or could you even give us some of that insight as what Bear is like as a coach?
Yeah, Bear's been great. I've known Bear for quite a while now. I knew him when he coached the 67s, and his kids would come into, my training facility. So he would come down there and poke his head in there and kind of, intimidate the players a little bit and make sure that we're lifting pretty heavy and we're moving our butts pretty good. So, but it's been great. I had him over at Worlds, and won gold with him. It definitely influenced my decision to come here, just having a great relationship with him. But he's a great coach. I think he says a lot of the right things, all the time. He's got a great game plan before games. He's super intense at the right times, but then he's also got, a really good side of him where he wants the best for his players. And I think, for us as a group in there, we have, he's got our respect, and he definitely gives out, his respect as well to us. So it goes both ways. And, he does a great job at handling that part of the game. But I think he's just done a great job. And the whole coaching staff that, I know Mar a little bit from the 67 days as well. He's coaching the D. He's been great, just getting me comfortable here as fast as I can. And, everybody's just been a real good fit for myself. And Bear's he's leading the charge, and he's doing a really good job. So I've enjoyed playing under him right now.
Fans here in Utah are hanging on every game right now, and it's probably not healthy. If you know what I mean. You know what it's like. Hockey's a marathon, not a sprint, but we're sprinting right now because this is fun, and we've never experienced this before in this market.
Yeah.
How do you approach the last 8 games of this regular season? 5-point lead for that number 1 wild card spot, which is hanging on to that spot is so huge. How do you guys manage that? Because we in the media and fans here aren't dealing with it very well.
That's all right. It's supposed to be that time of year, right? It's super intense, and we're in a great spot. We're in a great position, and for us, it's just game by game. We're not getting too ahead of ourselves. We're just looking at our next game against Seattle, and like you said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint for us, but it's so exciting. You can kind of feel the buzz around the city, and all you got. It's this time of year when you're playing for a playoff spot and you're in a great position. Like this is so much fun to be a part of. I was telling some of the guys, a month ago I was kind of, getting prepared to go, who knows, down south or something. And now I'm sitting in the dressing room getting all fired up before these games. So it's not easy to get to where we are. It's a special place to be. So I hope, the fans are really enjoying it. I know you guys are hanging on tight, but I don't know if there's too much worry in our group. We're a confident group in there. We believe that we're going to get in playoffs, and we're going to make some noise in playoffs. So get geared up. It's probably it's just getting started for you guys.
Sweet. MacKenzie
Weegar, defenseman for the Mammoth, one of the few of the pieces of this team who can actually rent a car, because he's old enough to. There are a lot of young guys, as you said, and it is cool to see this core together, and we're really excited to see what can happen over the next couple of years. But we're glad to have you in town, and we appreciate you taking some time out. And best of luck. Stay healthy, number one, so we can see everybody on the ice in the playoffs.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on, and looking forward to growing the relationship.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, Weegs.
MacKenzie Weegar. Oh, my goodness. We don't do ourselves any favors from a mental health standpoint, do we?
It's fun. Like you said, it's fun.
We just don't.
This is why you follow it. I mean, would you rather be following the Canucks right now?
No, I know, but every game, and actually
there's
for
no
me,
stress in Vancouver right now.
Right, and that's true.
That's a different kind of stress.
Oof. I will say, though,
this is fun.
It's not just every game, too. Like, my kids are hanging on to every period. Like, they are just – it's wild to see how the game will grow on you. And, I mean, I'm going to be honest, my kids enjoy hockey more than most of the other sports at this point. I think football, when fall comes around, it'll still be king, thank heavens. But my kids are hockey dudes now.
It's just so much fun to have guys like MacKenzie Weegar, and we talk to these guys occasionally when they come on, and it's great to hear from them. They're just good guys, and they're relatable, and this team is so much fun. And yeah, there's ups and downs, there's highs and lows. Last week sucked. Watching those two games, like, what's wrong with these guys? And then they go out there and do what they did on Saturday. Like, yeah!
Yeah,
I love this
6-2.
team. That's part of the fun, right?
6-2.
That's why we hang on to this. It's entertainment. And these guys entertain. For better or worse, they entertain. And they're in position. He's right. And I'm glad that they are level-headed and they see the big picture, because the truth is they're exactly where you want to be. Would you rather be the Predators or the Kings or the Kraken right now? And of course not.
No, you're running people down, which is not the space
You've
you wanna
got the
be in.
5-point lead with 8 games left. You are in prime position. Just handle your business. That doesn't mean you're going to win every game down the stretch here, but handle your business, and you should hold on to that. There's no excuse for blowing a 5-point lead right now, unless you do overthink it, unless you do get too caught up in the highs and lows of the moment.
So appreciate MacKenzie Weegar, appreciate the Mammoth hooking us up with him, and anytime that there's been like a new player who's come in, they've been quick to say, hey, you guys want to get to know Nate Schmidt? You want to get to you want to get these guys in and get them on. And by the way, the guys who are older are the ones who come in and go, I've done these radio interviews before. I know how to handle this thing. But we did come. I'm proud of us that we didn't come up short and just be like, do you like it in Utah here? He kind of answers those questions for us. Hey, do you like me? Hey, do you like me?
Hey, you had a dirty soda yet? What do you think of those?
Have you been to Red Iguana? You should try the mole. Am I saying that right? Yeah, I always love being able to dip in with these guys. Now, that being said, over the weekend I did find so one of the kind of national podcasts that covers all things hockey, the Empty Netters podcast. They came to take in a Mammoth game, and it took a lot of editing out for our producer, Alex Napolis, to do this, so we appreciate it. Because
You mean a hockey podcast that
hockey
swears?
podcast did some cusses.
No.
All right? I think we got them all. So
we're about to find out.
We all listened to it just to make sure, just because it was so absolutely tied up there. But this is what they had to say of their experience coming in and experiencing a game at the newest barn in all of the NHL, the newest city in all of the NHL, and here's what they had to say about it.
Utah Mammoth, this is going to be one of the premier destinations for every NHL player for the next 50 years. It's unbelievable. We hit up fans going, where should we go pregame? Everyone kept saying flanker, 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 flanker. The bar was awesome. Dan was finding secret compartments, secret rooms inside a flanker. Full-on saloon, speakeasy bar with a bowl. They have a mechanical bowl back there. I tore my groin last time I did that. So then we go in early, we get to Delta Center. The show at Delta Center was electric. There was a laser show on the ice around the building. They dropped down this iceberg with tusks on it. The boys come ripping out of that. The place was going nuts. They handed out white Tusk Up t-shirts to everyone in the barn, sitting on every seat. Those things were flying around. It was a vibe. I was fired up for this game. So Tusky found us, and we had done a blind ranking of mascots and put him second, and he came by and faced us. Absolutely faced us.
Blind ranking, NHL best pots, number 1 Nashcast, number 2 Empty House. And listen, I'm happy to be nominated.
My respect for Tusky is through the roof after that chirp. He doesn't forget.
He's an elephant brain, Dan. Elephants don't forget.
So spot on.
The second intermission, we get access to the Toyota Club. And dude, this place is massive, first of all. And a whole awesome spread. Just like food all over the place. But the desserts, the desserts were incredible.
We've discovered that Utah and Mormons love their sugar. And they've got Swig, the dirty soda stuff. Shout out all the Swig gals.
So can you explain what a dirty soda is? Because I'm not entirely sure.
Dirty soda is just any soda. I mean, they have like a preset flavors and names and cool stuff on the menu. It's just soda, any soda you want, with pumps of syrup flavoring and then cream. It was just a perfect trip. Honest to God, I can't imagine a situation where a team takes better care of us. Cannot wait to come back for playoffs, because I promise you, you're going to have to beat us away with sticks to keep us out of this city, because this was just unreal.
Well, appreciate your thoughts.
There's a ringing endorsement for Salt Lake.
There you go. I just am, you're welcome. Empty Netters podcast. There you go. You guys can have fun with that. It is interesting because I think recently you had, Connor Ingram left, and he didn't say a lot of nice things about Utah after he left.
Oh, okay.
The former goaltender.
That's all right.
And that was a bummer for, I think, a lot of us to hear, because it was like, yeah, the city doesn't know enough. It was basically, in a nutshell, the fans don't know hockey. the barn is not a good setup, and it had some things he didn't like that he said that he didn't like about Utah, and that always bums you out, man. But you have other people who come in and they go, one thing, when you're getting paid, that's great. It's easy to go, I love it here because the check's clear, which wasn't always the case. It felt like it in Arizona, right? And so when you see these guys come in and they go, I love it here. I love it. It's amazing. And all the things that go around it. What's funny is the reputation of Ryan and Ashley Smith just is, he brought it up and he goes, everybody already knows this, but the ownership is top notch. It's like the best because they already know that. They probably knew it watching from the outside in. They didn't know who it was. Everybody looked at it and went, Utah as a hockey franchise? I don't know, man. But it makes sense.
That's fair.
Yeah, they go, I don't know.
We haven't had NHL hockey here yet. We've had hockey here a long time, but no one thought of Utah as a hockey place. It's the Jazz, and you think about college football maybe. That's it.
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of folks who see this. They see this market, players or not, but they come in. What you can't diss on this market about is, and this is what I really like when you watch these games, Utah goes into other barns, historic barns, beats those teams, and walks away. People come into Delta Center, and they go, brand new franchise, all the things that go with that, everything. We'll show you guys how it's done. And the reality is, it's big-time hockey. This is big-time hockey here. This isn't like some cute little story where they're 60 points behind in the race here. They're on the verge of the playoffs. And they embarrassed the Kings down in L.A. the other night. In L.A., you always love to see that. I don't care what sport it is. Utah loves to beat L.A. It's fine. So, anyway, appreciate the Mammoth and MacKenzie Weegar for doing it. I just think that everything piles on here. The reason I think that missing the playoffs would be such a big deal is that's the next piece of getting people fired up. Because
that's the next step in our growth here as a hockey market.
Playoff hockey, just from a fan standpoint, is different. It hits different. It plays different. And I don't know how to explain it except for the chaos that happens in the last 2 or 3 minutes of like a game in overtime is like that for the entire 60 minutes of the game. That's the way I kind of see it.
Yeah.
It is so jam-packed. And the reason we're so nervous about this team not making the playoffs is because if you're not going to be able to get there, then you won't experience those feelings. So that's the next version of being able to go, okay, this is what playoff hockey feels like because you've hosted it here, because the team has played it. And the bumps along the way, great. You have a ton of people in the wings waiting in the young development. You've got a young core right now. You got a good mix of veterans in there. You got a guy like Nick Schmaltz who's becoming a star before our eyes. Look how much confidence Kels has in Schmaltz on that line. He just looks for it. He wants to dish the puck to him. Kels loves the assist to Nick Schmaltz.
Yeah, the whole line's had a great year.
Yeah, and they're one of the best in the entire league when it comes to that 1-2 punch. So you can't buy that kind of chemistry.
Krause has been great this year. It's just been fun. It's just a fun team. A lot of great dudes, and they're winning at a high level, and it's great to see.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go around the corner. When we return, we've got ourselves a couple things to jump into. Some BYU Spring Football. Kelly Popinga, the defensive coordinator. Sounds funny to say that still, right? K-Pop going to join us, give us his thoughts on spring so far down there in Provo. Stay right here with us, 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.
This is Mike Boileau of Lexicon Valley.
And I'm Bob Garfield. Are you one of those people who sometimes uses words?
Do you communicate or acquire information with, language?
Hey, us too. So join us on Lexicon Valley to chew over the history, culture, and many mysteries of English, plus some wisecracks.
Find us on one of those apps where people listen to podcasts.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Your home for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. 97.5 KSL Sports Zone. We were just talking about Utah State spring football. We've heard from Morgan Scalley. We'll hear from K-Pop actually down in Provo from last Friday afternoon. They had a late practice media availability, so we'll get you K-Pop's thoughts there. What did you say about Broncos' beard situation? He's let himself go.
He could not get into the testing center at BYU. Let me just say that.
Oh my gosh, I actually have nightmares about that. I was definitely sent away, and when you wait in line for that long,
yeah, it's like the soup Nazi on Seinfeld.
Oh, it was
You're
worse.
right there to get your soup, and then they cash you off.
It was worse because you already hate that you're even there. Okay?
Yeah.
My favorite part was there. So every building on campus they use for church on Sundays too.
Yes.
Like there are some people traumatized by having to do their Sunday meetings in the testing center. Like they had to, like that brings some bad memories back. But for me, I got sent away. I had to go shave, like dry shave with a cruddy razor in the Wilkinson Center bathroom.
Where'd you get the razor?
I bought it at the student store right there. And I bought like a little mini thing of the shaving cream too. But when it's not the same when you're at like a
fresh out of the shower, a little steam on your face.
That's not this. This is you in the sink at the Wilk while some people walk by and go, "You okay, buddy?" Because you look homeless. Because you're shaving at the freaking sink because you want to take a test. Listen to how weird that sounds.
That is.
What are you doing?
Everything you're talking about right now is so weird.
I'm shaving right now. Why? I got to take a test. Like just trying to explain that to somebody.
Yeah, that's weird.
I hope they figure some things out with the beard protocol there. All right. I mean, God bless him. I love my alma mater, but not that part. Hey, guess what we have here? Got some sound from Provo. Got some sound from Kelly Poping. Anytime K-Pop gets on the mic and has to talk about getting this defense dialed up, he's the brand new face of the defense on the coaching staff. He's the defensive coordinator after the Jay Hill exit. And, man, K-Pop from practice. Obviously, it's early, but I think he's pretty darn excited about the personnel that he has. Here's what he said about getting practice underway. They're almost actually done. I think they're done at the end of this week. Their alumni games on Friday. This is the final week
of BYU Spring Football.
Right, so we'll sneak in as much as we can on these weeks that these coaches will talk to us. Here's what K-Pop said on Friday.
Yeah, just consistency. Like today ended really well. We just got to get the start a little bit better. But I was really pleased the way that we finished practice. There's a drive here or there where you're just like, those are the ones that keep you up at night. But I just think. We got great players. We got some players that are out right now, so we have those pieces back in the fall. I'm super encouraged. Just really just the consistency part that that we got to get better at. But I think that's something you're always fighting. But we'll get there.
As far as position groups go, let's start with linebacker. Kedu Uluwabe and the guy from Kansas State. What has their impact been, and how are they going to help?
Yeah, Cade and Jake have been great, man. They've. I thought both of them performed really well. They picked up the defense really fast. Both of them are super smart guys, very talented, very versatile. I think they can do a lot of different stuff for us. But yeah, we just need some leadership qualities to start to come out. I think when you're a transfer, you're kind of in that middle ground of trying to figure out what's my role, what kind of leadership can I have. I haven't been here. There's other leaders, so I think they're still trying to figure that out. But they're perfect fits for this place. As far as just their personalities and the characteristics that we're looking for, and as far as players go, it's exactly what we're looking for.
How beneficial could that be for a guy like Siala, who saw a lot of reps and now gets that added competition?
Yeah, no, the competition in the room is going to be fierce. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited to see how it all unfolds in the fall. We got great depth. Now we just got to get everybody, on the same page and making sure we're executing at a high level, and the consistency part, like I talked about earlier. But yeah, I'm excited to have a room like we have where there's great depth. Coach Anna did a pretty good job of recruiting those guys in, and I'm kind of taking all the the benefits from it. But I just feel like it's like that at every position really too as well. Yeah, I feel the depth on the team for the most part is excellent.
Justin Kirkland was a guy who wasn't able to perform like people wanted. He's back. Is he healthy? And what have you seen from Justin?
Justin's had a great spring, way different than the fall. He's healthy. He was a little banged up in the springtime or in the fall, but now he's healthy and he's going. And I feel like he's just playing with better pad level. He's lost a little bit of weight. He's leaner, more mobile. He's playing super physical. He's hard to move. You try to single block that guy, good luck. A really strong, big, athletic guy that we need in the inside to help us play great defense.
What do you feel is this? How important do you think spring ball is for the development of your defense?
Yeah, I think for the most part, for the youth, I think it's the most important. The guys that are inexperienced, right? So for even Cade, that's an experienced football player, just getting him used to our defense. Jake as well, kind of the same thing. But these new, I think it's the most valuable for these freshmen that are coming in, and guys that maybe haven't played a lot, that have a lot of game experience, that don't have a lot of game experience. Those are the guys that benefited from it the most. But you get in the camaraderie part of it more in fall camp because there's a lot of guys that are out right now. I looked over there today and I'm seeing, Ciala Sarah's out, Isaiah Glasker's out, Evan Johnson's out. I mean, we got a bunch of key pieces that are out that are, nothing serious, but we'll have them all back. But it's just, once we get all the pieces together, I think we have a chance to be good. But that's, what I told them after practice today, we can talk about it all we want and people can tell us how great we're going to be. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. We got to go put all the work in on the field and take all the steps and go through the process, what it's going to take for us to be great.
What's the strength of your defense, you feel, heading into the final week of spring ball?
Man, it's a great question. I think we have strengths everywhere. I think leadership. If I'd have to say anything right now, I feel really good about our leadership. I think Keanu Tanavasa's done a great job there. I think Evan Johnson does a great job with the back end. Raider and Fale and Tommy Prasis, I think great job in the safety room. I feel like leadership in every room is really good. Hunter Clegg with the outside backers. It's as good as I've seen since I've been here. It's kind of like we got to make sure we just stay out of the way and let them do their thing. A player-led team, something I learned from Bronco a long time ago, like a player-led team is way better than a coach-led team, right? So if we have to sit there and hound them and be on them all the time, we just don't have the right guys and we don't have the right team. But this team is a team that's holding themselves accountable, holding a high standard. Really, as coaches, we really don't have to say or do much. The players are doing that for us right now.
The guy that you just brought up, Tommy Parasis, maybe I'm curious on him, how he's progressed this year, because last year dealt with some injuries. How's he progressed? Is he kind of back to his original form?
Tommy looks great. Yeah, he looks as good as I've seen him. And that competition between Raider and Fale and him is awesome. And there'll be times where maybe all three of them are on the field at one time. But I feel great with the safety room. Ken Pula is another guy that's come along that we've been really pleased with. Jaron Kalama. I think that safety room is competitive. It's competitive everywhere, which is just a great sign of the depth that we have on our team. That's what it's going to be. And so for you to play early, man, you got to come in and learn the defense quick and get bought into the culture and the system fast. And I think that's happening. And it's fun to see the older guys really teach these younger guys too as well. And Tommy's been one of the best examples of helping these younger guys grow in that system, that safety.
You were on the field as a special teams coordinator. I couldn't help but notice when I was walking into practice today at the building, I saw you on the balcony. Does that mean you'll be like in the box or something? How will that work?
Just practicing, Mitch, man. Just seeing what I want to do. Could be on the. I don't know. Honestly, I think in my first 13 years of my career, I was up in the box. So every season I was with Bronco, except for maybe one. At Virginia, I was up in the box. I think it was my last year at Virginia, I came down on the field, and so ever since then I've been on the field. So my year at Boise, I was on the field. My last 3 years, I've been on the field, and so really just seeing what I like, honestly. And so I've had a couple times up in the box and a couple of times down on the field in these scrimmage situations, and just seeing what vibe is best. I don't know. I just, what worked for Coach Hill or what works for other coaches might not work for me, right? So I'm trying to see what's best for us, as a team, and we'll get to it. But yeah, right now it might be both. Who knows? Maybe there's some coaches that go up and then they come down at halftime. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll find out will help our team be the best that we can be.
Just to kind of play off that question, how's this defensive coordinator thing going for you? First spring practice, what have you learned?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. There's a lot to manage is what I'm learning as far as just I think back to my time with, other coordinators, and whenever a position coach has a question, you go in and ask the coordinator. And now I'm realizing there's like 5 other guys coming to me asking those questions of how you want something done. And so, just being able to get everybody on the same page, getting everybody coordinated, and doing it the way that we want to do it is the most important. It's not, I'm not about like what I want, it's what we want and what we're best at. And there's a lot of really good coaches in that room that have a lot of really good ideas and experience. And so we got to use all the resources that we have to help us be successful.
K-Pop going from middle management up to the C-suites, and he's got to answer some questions that he didn't necessarily have to before. I love listening to the growth of the coaches, and we talked about this when Jay Hill left. BYU fans should be ecstatic for the legacy he left just in those 2 seasons. And the reality is that a guy like K-Pop actually could be the person that, this is the guy who played at that stadium. This is the guy who has the past with the school. This is the guy that knows what the expectations are from Kalani especially, right? But he also went out and had to do his own thing and had to figure some stuff out at these other schools that he was at. And by the way, you think about the special teams and how much better it's gotten under K-Pop over the last couple of years. Just that.
Terrific, yeah.
Just that. The attention to detail you have to have and that kind of thing. So the good news is they've got a ton of talent coming back.
They just got a big recruiting win today, too. In-state.
Hey, Napoles, we'll get some breaking news sounder here because JJ's going to break some recruiting news here for us. Might as well, since we're talking.
We're on the topic.
Some BYU football here. Which one of these kids got $1 million today, JJ?
Mountain Ridge High School tight end and linebacker Titan DeYoung has committed to BYU.
Okay. Obviously, that's toward your end of the valley there.
One of the best in-state players, and it's a big get for the Cougars. A lot of schools around the country wanted him. He's big-time talent.
Uluave was a Harriman kid?
Mountain Ridge.
He was a Mountain Ridge kid. See,
one of the first early Mountain Ridge kids was Cade Uluave.
So you roll up on the visit, and you walk him up to Cade's locker, and you chat with him and go, "Come on, man."
It's pretty easy.
Took me a minute to get here, but I'm here, and this is where I want to be, and you want to be there too.
BYU's got to win those battles for those 3-4-star kids locally, and Utah needs to win them too, and that's one where BYU got him. So,
is the young kid? Is he? What is he? A 4-star? 3-star?
I'm not up on the stars. I don't know.
It's funny because we'll say them when we want them to mean something, and then later we go, stars are so stupid.
I know.
3-star? Annapolis probably is the one who gave him his star ranking.
He's a 3-star.
3-star. All right.
I don't know who decides that, but that's what it's listed as.
Like I said, I think it's Alex Napolis, our producer. So
6'3", 215.
Napolis at KSL.com
there you go.
Is his email.
Played both sides of the ball. 1,058 yards on offense. He had 77 catches, 8 touchdowns. One of them was one-handed.
But he's coming in as a
He's going to play defense.
Yeah.
He honestly, I've talked to his coaches, and he's a guy that could really get after the quarterback if that's what they want him to do.
What did you say size was?
Right now, 215.
What's his height?
6'3".
Yeah, right now
he's a big kid.
Right now they're putting through the system a lot of big linebackers.
This kid's putting up these numbers at age 16, 17. He's a big kid.
Good for him. All right.
He's going to be really good.
There you go. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we've got ourselves a couple more things to get through. We have a Sucks to Be You. Yes, we honored the Weekend Warriors last hour. This hour, we're going to get to the people who it was not very fun to be this weekend. There's a long list of them. By the way, if you want to win something, like a gift card to Amazon, if you can call us right now and give us the Chevy Strong play of the weekend that DJ and PK gave out this morning, take a wild freaking guess what the best play over the weekend was. And even if you can't think about that, or if you weren't even listening this morning, this is one of those weeks where you might be able to take a shot in the dark and get it. 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-9663. With an impressive lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs. No wonder people are switching to Chevy. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. When we round the corner at the top of the hour, by the way, Matt McConnell, who does the TV play-by-play for the Mammoth, is going to join us in about 20 minutes here. So you don't want to miss any of that either. We've got tons going. Stay here, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
Hi, this is Alex Kantrowitz. I'm the host of Big Technology Podcast, a longtime reporter and an on-air contributor to CNBC. And if you're like me, you're trying to figure out how artificial intelligence is changing the business world and our lives. So each week on Big Technology, I bring on key actors from companies building AI tech and outsiders trying to influence it, asking where this is all going. They come from places like NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, and plenty more. So if you want to be smart with your wallet, your career choices, in meetings with your colleagues, and at dinner parties, listen to Big Technology Podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
¿Quieres mejor internet? Cox Internet de 300 megas tiene las velocidades rápidas y confiables que buscas. Perfecto para streaming y gaming y trabajar desde casa. Todo por solo $45 al mes cuando agregas Cox Mobile. Incluye equipo de Wi-Fi y garantía de precio de 2 años en tu plan. No esperes. Cámbiate hoy a Cox. Requiere Cox Mobile Gig Unlimited. Garantía de precio no incluye impuestos y cargos. Velocidad de datos móviles se reduce después de 20 gigas al mes.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems? And fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old. A healthy smile isn't just about teeth. It's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Basking in the sports misfortune of others to help make you feel just a little bit better about yourself. As JJ and Alex present...
Yes, we got beat. We got beat badly.
It sucks to be you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Yes, as the music said, everything sucks today. Well, not for us. We're having a good time. There were a lot of people over the weekend that had great weekends. Thanks for asking. Think of all the people we went through and we listened to all those. The Mullins kid out of UConn. I mean, I can't imagine a more fun thing to replay in your head for the rest of your life than remember when I was 18 and I sent our team to the Final Four over, what was that little team called that we played? They used to be a powerhouse back about 50 years ago.
Ow.
That's what I'm assuming he's going to say. No, come on. You hit it over Duke. That's actually what makes it crazy too. You hit that shot. You remember it forever. There are the people who don't want to remember, and it sucks to be John Shire today, who's getting all sorts of criticism on whether or not he has, quote unquote, what it takes to win a national championship. Do you remember when Coach K left? He's like, of all the people that have ever come through this program, there's only one person that I could give the ringing endorsement to be the head coach at the University of Duke. Or Duke University, that would be anywhere near the type of success, not like that I brought or that what he was saying. He was more saying that the highest level of expectations are at Duke, and it's John Shire. And by the way, he's had a phenomenal first few years. He's been exceptional. There were years Coach K didn't make it out of the round of 32 or out of the round of 64, round of 32.
He got knocked off in the first round before it happened.
Yeah, and it happens. And John Shire's gone deep every tournament he's been to. But the type of losses have been bad. Also sucks to be the other Boozer today. Caden Boozer, poor kid.
You know what, though? I'm going to give that kid a lot of credit. He sat there in the locker room and he did interviews afterwards. He was accountable.
He owned it.
Like, there's a lot of kids that would have ran and hid. There were seniors that would run and hide, and he didn't. He's taught well. Obviously we know who his dad is, and it's easy to show up when things are going well, but when you make a play like that and you're on the wrong end of it, it really takes a lot to sit there and own it. And he did. Give him credit.
Also, people who it currently sucks to be in the world of sports. Oh, Kim Mulkey, she's knocked out of the women's NCAA tournament. Tough to see Tough to see the pink outfit's not going to be on the sideline for
gonna miss the
favorite part of
fashion show, but other than that, good riddance.
Oh, come on. Let me see here.
Sucks to be Devontae Adams. A little Rams thing I'll throw in there. The Rams apparently it got out that they explored trading him, but decided against it.
Don't like that info getting leaked out.
That doesn't make you feel good.
But why would you? Just as a money issue? Because I'll tell you what. Right now, can we all agree? And Annapolis has to get in on this too. Puka Nacua still needs a little bit of some babysitting.
Maybe a little bit.
He needs an A number one, like a wide receiver in the room that's the veteran, but
Puka
also
needs a mentor.
But also the guy that will put his arm around him and go, maybe let's stay in this weekend, right? So I'm a guy like Devontae Adams. Cooper Kupp, I think, was different because I think Cooper Kupp felt more threatened and was, obviously, by Puka being there. I think Devontae Adams, you correct me if I'm wrong, Devontae doesn't feel like he's threatened by Puka. I think he looks at it like, I want to freaking win a championship.
He shouldn't because he led the league in receiving touchdowns last year.
Not bad.
And he missed 3 games.
But if that stuff leaks out, if you're the Rams, what do you say? That's just business. You know how this goes.
McVay owned it. He said the reports that the Rams were explored trading Adams were accurate. Said we have discussions all the time. We really talked about some different avenues of onboarding other players and how it might affect Devontae. So he didn't hide it.
He's still going to have that Taco Bell in his house, though, right?
Well, he's earned it.
Okay, just wondering. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll come back. Do we know anybody else who currently sucks to be? While you think of the last one we're able to throw out there, I'll remind you that the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week program is an ongoing, awesome program that we have right here in KSL Sports where we're able to honor the people who do an awesome job for the youth sports in their neighborhood. What do? You go to kslsports.com/contests. You nominate a person who does just that, lifts up the youth sports in your community, and does it really without any kind of fanfare. We want to give them some fanfare. We want to give them $250 to Beehive Meals. We want to be able to give them a shout out on our socials and also on the air every Thursday. We read off those winners. And so you can do that just by going to kslsports.com/contests and nominating somebody today. We're going to come back. Hey, let's talk a little bit more hockey here as we've got the television play-by-play voice of the Utah Mammoth who's going to join us on the program next week. We're always going to talk to Mike Folta, but Matt McConnell is going to join us, and love having Matt on the program and dipping in there too. We're going to ask him what these next 8 games, cross your fingers, are going to be looking like. We'll come back next. More to go. 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial!
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What kind of tripped out odyssey are we on right now?
I did in my head think that maybe this was some kind of like one of the deep tracks on like The Wall or something.
Yeah, it sounded very Pink Floyd-ish.
No, it's Flock of Seagulls.
We know this song. Now we're getting there.
Iran, yeah.
Here it comes.
Not Iran. Iran, okay.
That'd be a weird time to play that.
That would be a weird time to play it. I do love Flock of Seagulls, too.
Do you? Do you?
Well, I like this song, but
okay.
I also, the name has always been fun for me because they all had that feathered hair, and it looked like their hair was.
They literally were a flock of seagulls.
They just had seagull hair. Oh, my goodness. We have lots going on in the program today, and until that musical mishap, I mean, we were batting 1,000 Annapolis before that one went down. But you know what? The thought worked. The thought absolutely worked.
Got to get to the chorus a little early.
I know. We got to get the hook going. But, you don't put it in the system and have a 14-minute intro. Come on.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
The Arrow.
All right. We got a couple things going on here. We're going to start off the hour officially because we have official people on here with us. We want to make ourselves look good.
We need
right?
to be on our best behavior.
Let's try to button it up a little bit here, guys.
Come on, let's be pros.
Start off the program officially with the cut. Top of the hour, let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the program. Your local trusted financial fiduciaries. All you have to do is go to their website, TrajanWealth.com. That's TRAJAN Wealth.com. Joining us on the program right now, Matt McConnell. He is the television play-by-play voice and face of the Utah Mammoth. And these have been some dicey games coming down the stretch here, Matt. I know you've been calling a lot of hockey for a lot of years. We aren't used to playoff hockey. We haven't felt that yet. And it's feeling a little bit more and more like that every day here because it feels like this Mammoth team is fighting for their life for that WC1 spot. So your thoughts on that, and welcome to the program.
You know what? I appreciate that. You know what, guys? This is only the beginning. Get ready. Your gut starts to feel queasy. You're going through this whole thing. You're wondering. You're looking at both sides. You're kind of projecting. You're looking at the standings. You're looking at who Nashville's playing, the next game, and this is all pretty normal stuff. So, you know what, the playoffs in hockey are so great, and I mean, the goal certainly is wild card one because there's no easy track, right? You eventually got to play everybody, but wild card one would certainly offer, in my opinion, anyways, a better track because it would push the Mammoth into the Pacific Division side of the bracket instead of having to play the best team in hockey right off the top, in the first round. So it's all part of the ride. Get used to it because if they get into the playoffs, the city's going to be crazy.
It is going to be crazy, and I can't wait for it. And we're so close to getting there. But last week was kind of that roller coaster we're talking about where you have this game against the Oilers that's frustrating, and then the 3-1 lead against the Capitals, and Ovechkin blows that up, and you're like, what's going on with the team? And then they go down to L.A., and they just absolutely dominate. You're along the ride just like the rest of us. What did you learn about the team over the last week, the highs and lows of just this last 7-day period?
Well, you know what? I think they got a lesson when the Capitals were here, and the lesson was don't get dragged into the stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had a 3-1 lead. They got dragged into the stuff. Brandon Tanev and Tom Wilson and everybody kind of getting involved. And you're up 3-1. You don't need to do that. There's I mentioned this to Dom Moore when we were doing the game in LA on Saturday, I guess it was. And, I said, Dom, I said, I know hockey players have long memories. and what I meant by that was, worry about it next season. Worry about getting back at, whoever it might be down the road because the games are just so critical. So then the game in LA that I just referenced, they were as good as I've seen them defensively. They were really opportunistic offensively. And I think when this team has success, guys, they just go out there and they play. They don't overthink the game. They're one of the fastest teams in the league. They just go out and make plays. And defensively, I thought they were really buttoned up. Andre Tourigny, the head coach, always talks about connectivity, right? And that's that starts at the goal line. That's the breakout. That's getting into the zone, getting set up. You name it. Everybody, whether you're a defenseman, a forward, the goaltender, even on the back end. Everything has to be connected to have success. And they were as good as I've seen all season long in all aspects of the game in L.A., which is really encouraging because they were undisciplined Thursday night against Washington. And the other side story was it looks like Karel Vejmelka got his swagger back a little bit too because they were they had a bit of a push in the third period and he was able to keep them at bay. And those are all good signs pointing into the game Thursday in Seattle.
Matt, when you see this team, obviously where they are in the standings, and like you said, we're looking at the Preds behind them. You look at all the other teams, and you go, keep lose another game, please. So this team could keep going. But as we watch this kind of come to a head here in the next few games, and single-digit games left. At the trade deadline, the Mammoth added MacKenzie Weegar. We had MacKenzie on last hour. and we chatted with him about, and this is an interesting mix of the youth and of veterans, and obviously Bill Armstrong is thoughtful about moves that you make, especially late in the year, and prior to the trade deadline. When you bring a guy in like that, what is the purpose of him? Obviously, number one is to play really, really good defense. But I feel like when you bring in a guy who's been in the league a long time, what does that add to a locker room like this?
Well, it's all about stability. It's all about leadership. MacKenzie has been terrific. And, here's a few stats I'll throw at you. Since coming to Utah, he is now first on the team in making defensive plays. He's first on the team in denials in the defensive zone. He's number one on the team in block passes, and he's also number one in the league in recovering number one on the team, I should say, in recovering loose pucks. So he's been terrific with Mikhail Sergachev as that top pairing. He's also a really good defenseman in terms of stretch passes. Just keeping the play moving up the ice, whether it's a pass from his defensive zone into the neutral zone to kind of key the rush. He's just been very, very good at that, not only here, but throughout his career. And he's a good person. Like he seems to have fit like a glove. And what that also does too, and there's a term in hockey called slotting, right? How does it affect everybody else? Well, now you can put MacKenzie Weegar down or you can put Sean Dursey on the third pairing with Ian Cole, and that creates great matchups in the third pairing area, right? So he touches the games in a lot of different ways. He can be a power play guy, which he has been on power play too. Shortly after his arrival, he can kill penalties. He can play 5-on-5. He's been absolutely terrific. And you bring up Bill. Bill has never really been a home run guy when it comes to acquisitions. I think he's more interested in the fit and how it affects the rest of the group, and he's done very, 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 very well in that. If you look at free agency, which begins on July 1 in the NHL, Bill will sign guys, but he will never mortgage the future to give up a lot of assets to acquire the bright, shiny object that's, the big free agent, right? And I think his discipline has really helped the entire roster and the entire organization of building depth, yet not having to give away a lot of pieces of their future. They made that deal with Weegar. They did give up 3 second-round draft picks, but they didn't give up T.J. Ginla. They didn't give up Caleb Denoye. They didn't give up any of their top 7 prospects. So it was kind of a win-win. It helps Calgary because Calgary's rebuilding. They're looking to the future, but it really helps Utah from the standpoint of having a real good stabilizer and creator on the back end. And, there are a lot of cups on that back end with Ian Cole and Nate Schmidt and John Marino and such. So it's just been a really good fit.
One of the heroes of that Saturday game was Alexander Kerfoot, and it's we haven't thought about him much because he hasn't played a lot this year, but when he has, he's really had impact. Now that he's back healthy, playing like he did against LA, how big of a factor could he be down the stretch and into the postseason as a veteran on this club?
Yeah, he could be a really big factor. And, it's funny because he came back and he played a few games and then he got hurt again. And then he was out a little longer and then came back. But even after he came back the second time around, guys, he wasn't firing. He had missed so much time and missed training camp at the beginning of the season. He didn't have his swagger and his quickness back more than anything. And I would say about 8-9 games ago, he looked like the old Alexander Kerfoot from a year ago. In terms of his impact, you can play him anywhere. He had some time with Schmaltz and Keller recently. You can play him on the wing. You can play him in the middle. Doesn't matter who you have out there. He can play top line, fourth line, anywhere in the middle. He's kind of like one of those pocket knives, right? He's just he's a gadget guy that can fit anywhere, and he's been absolutely terrific. I mean, I got to mention he went to Harvard every once in a while just to keep Dominic Moore happy. When I talk to Alex and Dom, I just ask them, hey, look, I went to a state school. Can you just talk a little slower so I can understand? I got to do all that stuff. But no, but he's been great.
Matt McConnell, he's the television play-by-play voice, of course, of the Utah Mammoth. He and Dom Moore. Dom doesn't just have the Harvard background. He's got the hair to match on TV. It's a tough guy to sit next to, Matt, right?
You know what he's got? He's got that vest, right? He's got that.
Yeah.
He's got that zip-down thing. Sometimes I think I'm sitting next to Mr. Rogers. You know, like
with the cardigan. Boom.
He's got the cardigan going. He's got the, I asked him, there was a game about, I shouldn't say this in case any of the big bosses are listening, but there was a Saturday afternoon game about a month ago. And I said, why don't we just kind of go casual? It's the afternoon. Let's see if anybody says anything. Like if they do, we won't do it again. But so nobody said anything. And so I was all excited the next afternoon game. I'm like, hey, before it, I said, hey, we're going to kind of do what we did that last game. He's like, I got to be honest with you, Matty. I didn't like the look. And I go, what? Come on. What? It beats wearing a tie and a shirt and a suit and everything. And he goes, I don't know. Just didn't like the look. So,
it's not like you rolled up with a Buc-ee's gas station T-shirt on. I mean, come on. Like
with mustard stains on it.
I would assume you guys still look pretty dialed in. Like I said, you're pretty tough to look. As long as you have the Mammoth pin on, then we know what your job is. Come on. So,
yeah.
As you guys get ready for this thing and 8 games left, like what's the reality of what a performance has to be for this team? I'm not asking you to give me a record exactly what they need to do, but like in 8 games, where does that point threshold probably need to be for them to feel comfortable about not just staying in the wild card, but staying in that wild card 1 spot?
Well, I think we're looking at like 91. Somewhere in that range, right? And what are they at? 82 now, I believe.
Yeah.
So I think 9 more points, and it'll be, they'll look pretty good. The thing is, though, there's 2 things. It keeps ratcheting up, right? Like so in the regular season, you get out of the All-Star break, you get on the backside of that, or in our case, the Olympic break this year. And it starts ratcheting up, and then when you're coming down the home stretch, it ratchets up even more, and teams are playing desperate, and the other thing too is teams are playing each other, right? So some teams are elevating, other teams are kind of getting knocked down a peg or two. The one wild card in hockey this time of year is what they call the 3-point game. So if you're if the game goes to overtime, that's the worst. Like if Nashville and Seattle were playing, or Nashville, I think, is playing the Kings in a night or two, if that game goes to overtime, then one team's going to get 2, the other team's going to get 1, and they're both teams that are chasing the Mammoth and at this point Nashville and everybody else. So, you got to keep that in mind. But yeah, it just keeps getting harder and harder, and that's why veterans like Mikhail Sergachev and Nate Schmidt and Ian Cole and these guys that have been through the playoff wars and won Stanley Cups, they're going to be so key to the rest of the group because, the other thing you got to remember is a lot of the core guys, the high-end guys, the Kellers, the Schmaltz, the Coolies, the Gunthers, have either not played in the postseason yet in their career, or they played very, very few games. Even Keller and Schmaltz, great players that they are. So it's a real learning process to get in, and then once you get in, holy smokes, that first round, it's something else.
We can't wait for that. And Alexander Kerfoot had an interesting comment after the Kings game. He was asked about bouncing back from the last week's struggles, and he said, well, the nice thing about that is we got a lot of young guys in here that don't have a lot of battle scars. So to your point now, talking about the playoffs coming up, and this team does lack some experience on one end, but they've also got guys that have the cup on the other. Is the lack of battle scars good for some of these young guys because they're just going to go out and play? I don't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. Or you've been in this league a long time. Just how important is experience among your top-line guys as you go into the playoffs?
Well, I'll put it this way. They don't know what they don't know right now, but if they make it and they get into that first round, they're going to start to know.
Yeah, they better figure it out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're going to start to know what it's all about. But having and that was all part of the I was talking about Bill Armstrong earlier. That was all part of the roster construction. The fact that you need guys that have gone through it to kind of lead the way to help the younger guys and the whole thing about you don't know what you don't know. I do think that's a bit valid. Just go out and play the game, right? And I think everybody's done a great job. The other thing too is wild card one's the goal, obviously. So why not? Why not just go get it? I mean, you finish a season, you take a couple weeks off, and then you start training, and all that time and all that effort and all those games and practices, see it through. And, I think they can do that. I really do. And I think especially if they get wild card one, I think they could make some noise in the postseason. So it sets up for a lot of fun over the next few weeks, hopefully.
Matt, I just thought about this too. I was thinking about how, every NHL game can potentially get chippy and kind of crazy, and it seems like it's been, their tempers can flare at any moment. It doesn't matter. But what teams are you seeing that you go, oh no, there's a long-term potential for real rivalry feel between teams that are here out west with this Mammoth team?
Well, I think it's Colorado. I think in so many ways it's Colorado simply because of the geography and the fact that they're in the same division. I think a lot of us thought originally that it was going to be Vegas, but I think Vegas being outside the division kind of maybe gives the nod to a team like Colorado. Utah's played well against the Avalanche because they can play that speed game, right? And they've gotten really good goaltending from Karel Vejmelka. And I just think it sets up naturally, and it'll only get amplified after they play the Winter Classic next year out at Rice-Eccles. So, the way I feel right now, I feel it's definitely Colorado. But a lot of times in hockey, the rivalries guys are created in the postseason, so you get a lot of that too. So stay tuned. But yeah, the Colorado matchups, I think, are so far in the first, just under 2 years, those games have been terrific to watch, and just speed on speed. It's been a lot of fun.
Year two here in this market from Matt McConnell, who's got the TV duties. Of course, he and Dom Moore do an awesome job, and 2,000 plus of these calls for you across your illustrious career, Matt. And we appreciate that you join our program every once in a while and give us some of that insight. So thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Oh, anytime, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Matt.
Matt McConnell.
You're the best.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm looking forward to playoff hockey, Matt McConnell too.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what that looks like. If he was getting a little bit cash, maybe he goes full tux. Or wilds out, maybe gets some
Well, you go full bear and you get the vest.
You get the vest. You get the three-piece suit. Yeah, absolutely.
Dom's cool with that, I'm sure.
Dom's he's one of those guys that, we do this on the basketball side. All those guys
he's a quarter zip guy.
They're just fighting each other over who looks good on TV the most. Come on, guys.
Come on, TV people.
Come on. What about us, the rest of us schmucks over here? Leave some of the good looks for us, huh? All right. We got to take a break. Before we do, I want to mention, of course, as always, when we have those hockey conversations, so many times they're brought to you by the good folks at Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing stronger together. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We have right around the corner our Jazz Daily. Yes, the Utah Jazz firing it up here for the last handful of games for them as well. So we'll give you a thought on, man, I was nervous in that Denver game the other night. What was going on there? I was like, when are the Nuggets going to pretend like they want to win this game? And it finally kind of figured itself out. So there you go. We'll come back, talk Jazz Daily next, 97.5 BKSL Sports Zone.
Every day, the world gets a little weirder and a lot more awesome. Cool Stuff Daily takes a look at everything from mining in space to the latest in the fight against cancer to how AI is, basically changing everything. It's all the cool stuff you didn't know you needed to know. Join us for Cool Stuff Daily as we take a quick look at science, tech, and the wait, what stories that make you sound way smarter at dinner. Subscribe to Cool Stuff Daily now, because the future's happening fast, and it's way too fun to miss.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems, and fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old? A healthy smile isn't just about teeth, it's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org. You deserve to feel better today. At Harper Clinic, patients report sleeping deeper, thinking clearer, and feeling stronger, because mental health care is more than emotions. It's about your whole body. Work to lower your blood pressure, even boost your immune system. Get help to manage stress, focus, and reconnect. If you're facing anxiety, depression, or just feeling stuck, call Harper Clinic, 801-306-2345, 801-306-2345 to start feeling better.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
You know what's coming. Your daily deep dive into everything Utah Jazz. It's time! All season long and even in the off season. It's Jazz Daily with JJ and Alex on your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. So when we left the station on Friday, and I go home and we fire up the Jazz game. I've seen these games start off fine enough. Seen the Jazz even had a lead before. A lot of times they relinquish it before half and then they give it up all the way. And then they just kept fighting. The Jazz put together a 43-point third quarter. And I said, this is not the Jazz basketball that I was expecting tonight. More importantly,
why are you playing so good?
Isn't it just a weird friggin' spot that we've got
I'm so glad we're over. This is over soon.
I know it's over soon, but we're still. Oh, listen. The Mammoth and the Jazz, I think, both have 8 games left. Yeah, they both played 74, and they got to get to 82.
Jazz have seven left.
Oh, they have 7 left. Sorry, that's
21
right.
and 54 record. They're at 75, so they have 7 left.
So after the Nuggets finally turned their butts in gear and then and got themselves the win. I mean, they had to put together a 37-24 fourth quarter to be able to win by 6. The Nuggets. I think Ben tweeted it out too. He was like, "What's going on here? The Nuggets actually need to win."
Yeah, they're in a tight race.
They need to win.
And the Nuggets got a big win last night, so that Jazz loss really would have hurt them.
Yeah, so the Nuggets finally figured out fine. But the more important thing is with the 7 games left, and now with a couple of losses, of course, over the weekend. Now, the Suns, I think the Suns were up by 30 already at the half on the Jazz.
Yeah, they crushed
before it was all said and done.
That went exactly how it was supposed to go.
Right, but here's what you're still getting. The other night at the Suns, you had Kyle Filipowski's been as impressive as any of these other guys.
2 games, yep.
Any of these other guys we talk about, we always talk about Ace, we always talk about Cody Williams' development even, and Bryce Sensabaugh, where they're going to fit in. Kyle Filipowski is growing up before our very eyes, which is actually way ahead of schedule with what we thought we were going to see with a guy who was picked in the second round. We knew he was good value the first day he was picked because you're like, oh, he's projected to go a lot higher. And then there was all this weird baggage stuff people were talking about that didn't make a lot of sense. And
never mattered.
It didn't matter.
No.
26 points the other night at the Suns, and he's having himself a heck of a time. He was 10 of 14 shooting. He was perfect from 3, perfect from the 3-point line, or from the 3-point line and the free throw line. I've loved Flip's game this year. There are very few times that you look at Flip and go, yeah, he's not trying very hard. His rebound numbers are always pretty decent too. He goes after the ball. He's a big body. He's that tall, lengthy body we've been talking about with so many of these lineups you can put together with the Jazz. Is there a spot for him on this roster going forward?
I think so. I think especially when he's on a rookie contract, I think it's going to be valuable to have him there. I think he's a 4 in this league. I don't think he's a 5. And you see the skills he has. He can score. He really can. He's a really good scorer, and he can rebound really well. What's one of the weaknesses of a Jazz future starter at the 4 position? Rebounding. Jaren Jackson Jr., not a great rebounder. Protects the rim, scores at a high clip, very good offensively. Very good defensively, just not a good rebounder. So it's good to have guys on the roster that complement each other and can fill a gap where it exists. Kyle Filipowski can come into a game, play 15 minutes a night, and get you double digits in points and potentially rebounds, depending on how many minutes he gets. He has the ability to do that. So I could see him in the rotation. If you have a 9 or a 10-man rotation moving forward, I could see him being in that. But it's a crowded room now.
Yeah.
We just don't know what Austin Ainge and company are going to do in the offseason with this team. Now, there's different thoughts. I could see them going with the starting lineup we've talked about, and maybe the lottery pick, depending on where it's at, jumps into that starting lineup and Ace is coming off the bench, or Ace is in the starting lineup and the lottery pick comes off the bench. But that's 6 players right there. So where does that leave Kyle Filipowski, Cody Williams, Bryce Sensabaugh, and Isaiah Collier? That's 4 guys. So we're already at 10 right now. That's 10. And I haven't mentioned a Svi Mikhailuk or a number of other guys that they have that are veterans on this group. Kevin Love, do they want to keep Kevin Love?
Well, you mentioned that when Will Hardy
is
said
Kevin Love a rotation guy moving forward? I don't know,
right.
but
when I saw
we're out of room.
We were both listening when Will Hardy mentioned Svi Mikhailuk, and we both went, I haven't heard Svi's name in a minute.
But he had 14 points off the bench in 9 minutes. 14 points off the bench in 9 minutes against the Suns.
Not bad.
4 or 5 from 3. He's got an NBA skill. He's a sniper. He can shoot. And the Jazz moving forward are going to need guys that play specific roles. Even a John Conchar. You're thinking, well, there's no way he's part of their plans, right? Well, what do you need? What do you need on this roster moving forward? Maybe he does have a role because he provides and does some of that dirty work coming off the bench and plays a role that you may need in whatever the next phase of the Utah Jazz is. We don't know. This offseason is an offseason of mystery.
Yeah.
We don't know right now if they're gonna keep the pick. We don't know where in the lottery it's at. We don't know who that's gonna be. We don't know what free agent moves or trades they might make. We don't know what kind of rotation they're gonna build. This team, while we know what the core is, we know they're gonna be winning moving forward, there's still a lot of mystery 1 through 10. And that's going to be really interesting to watch as the Jazz put together that roster construction. A roster constructed to win at the highest level.
So the playoffs for both the Eastern and the Western Conference, you have the 10 teams in both conferences that are in.
Yep.
And
thanks to tanking,
you already know where everybody's
got an early look here.
Yeah, I mean, because the Grizzlies, Pelicans, Mavs, Jazz, and Kings in the West were all eliminated from playoff.
No, it's all locked in. There's the 10 teams in the play. The play-ins are still to be determined, but yes, you're right.
Right. So, and there's going to be some late jockeying probably for the 4, 5, 6. Maybe
because all those teams tanked. Look how tight the races are on both sides of the.
I know. So on the other side, because when you look at all the teams that have been eliminated from playoff contention on the East and the West side, really bad teams. And then
there's only 3.5 games separating the 5th place Raptors and the 10th place Hornets. 3.5 games.
Right. The East is a mess. So even the Rockets and the Timberwolves have identical records. And then they're both only 2 games behind the Nuggets. So 6, 5, and 4 are all separated by 3 games, and 3. 6 down to 3 are all separated by 3 games in the West as well. So there's going to be some jockeying in that soft middle, and they'll have to figure some things out. I don't think the Suns are going to run down the Rockets. I think the 3 through 6 is where it's going to be interesting there in the West. Is there, I have to think that the San Antonio Spurs right now feel like the team in the West that actually has the edge. I know the Thunder are the defending champs. I know they have the defending MVP. But the Spurs, to me, have been more impressive this second half of the season than the Thunder. Like I said, it's not like the Thunder have flopped, but this Spurs team right now that's on an 8-game heater and are only 2.5 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder, they've been beyond impressive. I know they're young. I know they have a lot going on, but I can't see Wemby being and Stephon Castle and those guys getting held back too much longer before they know they can feel that they are actually probably good enough to be in the NBA Finals.
Do you think they can make it out of the West?
I know everybody's tough, but every one of the teams underneath them, I think, would be afraid of them.
Wemby hasn't played a playoff game yet.
Don't care.
Okay.
Don't care. I think
they're going to skip steps.
It's not about skipping steps. I just think that they're better than all the teams behind them in the standings, not just by record. I think they're better than all those teams. The Nuggets, of course, have so much experience. I wouldn't trust the Lakers at all in the playoffs, JJ.
You know what? They've got Luka.
Oh my gosh.
He's been to a finals.
I know, but I don't think the Lakers are winners. Call me.
They got Austin Reeves. They got
hater.
LeBron James.
The Rockets have KD, but I don't think they're going either.
I would love to crap on the Lakers on the radio right now. I mean, like 18-year-old me is like, I got a microphone. I'm on the radio.
To poop on.
I
Listen,
hate
Lakers
the
sucked
Lakers.
yesterday. They suck again today.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm being objective here. The Lakers have dudes.
Okay.
They do.
I am more afraid. If I'm in the West, I'm more afraid of the
beat the Suns.
Yes.
Although there is a dynamic to that I think the Suns could rough them up a little bit. You know who plays for the Suns? Dylan Brooks.
Is he off of suspension?
You're just assuming he's suspended.
Or didn't he have a...
Maybe he's injured.
Didn't he and Tiger hang out in one of the cells this last weekend?
Tiger.
Didn't Brooks get hit with a... Dylan Brooks got hit with a alleged DUI, right? Yeah, see?
Everyone thought the Suns would be in the lottery, and Dylan Brooks has helped them be a playoff team.
You know I love the internet. First of all, I send you guys how much I love the internet all weekend long.
Yes,
and you guys don't even respond to me half the time, okay? Even though I send you funny stuff. You guys have turned into my wife. I send funny reels, and you don't even react to them, idiots.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
Fine. I'll put a heart emoji on your... Just to let you know.
You didn't even open it, JJ. It wasn't even red.
Okay.
No, but all I'm saying, don't go. He's on his phone. He's sending heart emojis right now.
Yeah.
Don't. All I'm saying is the internet's undefeated because when Tiger's new Broward County Sheriff's Office mugshot came out, we were all waiting. We were all excited. Okay? It's like Christmas for us. And the polo he was wearing is one of his signature lines out of Sunday Red, which, of course, people immediately found on the Sunday Red on the Sunday Red website, where they're sold, by the way, for $150, and they call it the DUI polo. I mean, it's in like the font, like the nice written DUI polo.
That's funny.
That's why the internet's undefeated, man.
It is good.
Anyway, I just am saying, Suns, I mean, the Spurs are, to me, they feel like they just have this wild energy about them. It's the way I think the Thunder looked last year. And guess what? We said all these things about the Thunder. Well, you can't skip steps. Well, you know,
they made the playoffs the previous year, so it wasn't like they went turbo.
No, but no one last year thought to themselves, this is a Western Conference juggernaut. You were like, yeah, but they got these young guys who don't have enough. Chet Holmgren looked like, traveling back from the future Abraham Lincoln, or back from the past, and we were like, this guy can't win championships.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayers.
How many times we had to see that stupid AT&T commercial where he and SGA
man, their ads are terrible.
And Jalen Williams, you're like, oh my gosh.
Wasn't somebody trying to sell us on we should think that the Thunder are villains? And I'm kind of with them. They are so uninteresting. I am so sorry.
Well, SGA certainly hasn't helped over this past year.
Is there anything interesting about the Oklahoma City Thunder?
He hasn't helped himself.
The ads are terrible, by the way.
All right. Speaking of Jazz, we're going to keep going and chatting about the Jazz going forward here. We'll get you ready for Jazz basketball. They are taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what that means? Got a couple locals coming back. Old Donovan Mitchell with his first team in the NBA, coming back, visiting his old stomping grounds. And, of course, Sam Merrill. We'll set the over-under on Sam Merrill three-pointers tonight. Is that okay? We'll play this game? All right. We'll come back. More to go. 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.
Hey, I'm Josh Spiegel, host of the podcast Lunatic in the Newsroom. If you enjoy journalism that drifts into mild panic, wild overthinking, and a guaranteed nervous breakdown, Lunatic in the Newsroom is for you. It's news like you've never heard before. The only newsroom with a panic button. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and gasp in horror as the show spirals completely out of control. It's not just news, it's emotionally unstable. Lunatic in the Newsroom. Listen today.
Did you know fluoride is not available in Utah water systems? And fluoride supplements work best from 6 months to 16 years old. A healthy smile isn't just about teeth. It's about health and confidence. Your smile matters. Find resources at yoursmileutah.org.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.
Hey, Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car's gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Final segment of the day for us as we get you ready for Jazz basketball on your radio home of the Utah Jazz, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. 6 o'clock means you're going to get the coach, Tim Lacombe, Jake Scott, presumably. I haven't heard otherwise. I haven't seen them on the injury list. Impingement? Question mark?
No, I don't think. Does Jake still have impingement?
I'm being impinged over here. Let me see here. They upgraded him just to hip, by the way, Larry Markkinen. They've taken impingement
They got
off.
the impingement out. Now it's just the hip.
They removed the impingement. That was the whole problem. Now he's just got to recover. No Collier, no Keontae George. So those two fellas, with them out, you're going to see your usual suspects of like your Cody Williamses, your Bryce Sensabazes, Ace Bailey, the youngest, the youngest backcourt like that you can imagine. Going to throw them out there. And you know what? They're taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight right across the street at Delta Center. Donovan Mitchell, where he made his big debuts, of course, as a rookie. And just, man, that was a lot of fun when he was here. He'll come in. I'm assuming he's going to get a nice cheer from the crowd. Sam Merrill. Who gets the bigger cheer, Sam Merrill or Donovan Mitchell?
Sam Merrill.
Really?
Not even close.
Over under, I'm going to set right now on Sam Merrill three-pointers at 4.5.
4.5.
I'm getting aggressive because
that
you
is
said
aggressive.
I told you you told me he gets aggressive when he's coming back into town. He wants to show those
Last
three-point
time
shots.
he made more than 4 in a game, February 22nd. I'm taking the under, but I bet he gets 4.
Gosh, I didn't know JJ was such a Sam Merrill hater.
Stop.
I knew that was going to get him because he's like the biggest Sam Merrill honk on the planet. Wants to see Sam do well. This guy, when you cover somebody like Sam for so many years, and then I go, I didn't know you were going to throw him under the bus like that with only 4 three-pointers tonight, JJ. How dare you?
He had 4 on Wednesday, so he's done that recently.
Now, the question is against the Jazz, what has he done? That's the question.
Well, he's got a chance to come home and be impressive. Let me say that.
We'll see. All right, I'm going to set it at 4.5. I'll take the over then.
He's shooting 33% from 3 in his last 10 games.
How much?
33.9% from 3 his last 10.
He's been better than that before.
But he's shooting 42% on the road.
Okay. Jazz and Cavaliers tonight across the street. So the game, how does this one end up with the Cavs in town? They're a team that obviously they're sharpening the tools, getting ready for the playoffs.
And they're still jockeying for position. They want to hold on to home court in the Eastern Conference. So they're coming here to win this game and to get out of here quickly.
All good news for the Jazz.
Yes.
All right.
This should be a fun night for everybody involved. The Jazz will get one step closer to keeping that lottery pick, and everybody gets to watch Sam Merrill, and Donovan Mitchell fans get to watch him as well.
Let's do it. It's coming up right now, right after us, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Jazz basketball coming right at you next.
This is Mike Bolo of Lexicon Valley.
And I'm Bob Garfield. Are you one of those people who sometimes uses words?
Do you communicate or acquire information with, language?
Hey, us too. So join us on Lexicon Valley to chew over the history, culture, and many mysteries of English, plus some wisecracks.
Find us on one of those apps where people listen to podcasts.
You deserve to feel better today. At Harper Clinic, patients report sleeping deeper, thinking clearer, and feeling stronger because mental health care is more than emotions. It's about your whole body. Work to lower your blood pressure, even boost your immune system. Get help to manage stress, focus, and reconnect. If you're facing anxiety, depression, or just feeling stuck, call Harper Clinic, 801-306-2345, 801-306-2345 to start feeling better.